Hey guys, in today's video, I'm gonna be showing you one of the easiest ways to make yogurt at home without any kind of special tools or special ingredients. Now, I'm not a yogurt expert by any means. I'm usually just a sourdough guy. I make a lot of sourdough bread on this channel. But I've been reading this book called The Art of Fermentation, which is an awesome book about a lot of different fermented foods. Sourdough is a fermented food, and I'm realizing that once you know how to make one of them, you can make pretty much all of the fermented foods out there. You can at least figure out the concepts behind them. So if you've ever made a sourdough starter or like sauerkraut or something like that at home, yogurt will be really easy for you. You can figure it out. But even if you've never made any type of fermented food before, the method of making yogurt I'm going to show you today is so simple. Let me show you how to do it. Okay, the two ingredients you need to make yogurt are whole milk. Try to avoid ultra pasteurized milk. And then some plain yogurt. I've got some Greek yogurt here. Any style is fine as long as it doesn't have any sweeteners or anything extra added to it. Then you're gonna need a glass jar to actually hold your yogurt. It really doesn't matter the size. However much milk you pour into the jar, that's how much yogurt you're going to end up with at the end. So I'm getting about 24 fluid ounces of milk in this jar. That's around 700 milliliters. The amount really doesn't matter because you can make as much or as little yogurt as you want using this method. So once your yogurt is measured out into the jar that you want to use, transfer that milk into a pot because you're going to slowly heat this milk up. You can use cold milk to make yogurt, but from what I read, you're able to get a much thicker final product if you heat your milk up slowly to 180 degrees Fahrenheit. I've tried to make yogurt with cold milk twice, and both times the yogurt just didn't end up as thick as I wanted it to be. So stir your milk occasionally just so it doesn't get scorched or burn on the bottom. And then from time to time, just check on the temperature as it's slowly heating up. You're looking for it to get to 180 degrees Fahrenheit. And once it gets almost to temperature, you'll notice the milk starts bubbling. It's definitely evaporating. And what's actually happening is that the milk is boiling down a little bit and it's almost reducing. This is one of the factors that's actually going to contribute to a thicker yogurt. Once your milk gets up to 180 degrees Fahrenheit, go ahead and turn off the flame, and then just let your milk cool down to 115 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the temperature when it's safe to actually introduce a spoonful of yogurt, which is going to turn the rest of this milk into yogurt eventually. I know it's kind of weird, but we're using yogurt as a starter to make more yogurt. If you're into fermentation, that'll totally make sense to you. But if you're like, what? You need yogurt to make yogurt? Just trust me, there are other ways to make it, but this is the easiest one. For this amount of milk, you just need about a tablespoon of yogurt. Stir that into the milk, and it's going to inoculate the milk. And then those live and active cultures that are present in the yogurt, those things that are good for our gut, those are going to basically turn the rest of the milk into more yogurt. That's just kind of how the process works. So go ahead and stir that yogurt into the milk the best you can with a whisk, and then transfer all of that milk into your jar. Then once your milk's in the glass jar, go ahead and cover it up with a lid. It doesn't need to be tight, it just needs to keep things out of the milk. And then your milk needs to go into a warm place for it to be able to turn into yogurt. So I like to put mine in the oven that's turned off, but I turn the light on, so that creates kind of a warm environment inside the oven. It doesn't let it get too cold. And then just let your yogurt sit there for 7 to 24 hours until it hopefully firms up. And so here I am 9 hours later, I'm about to check if this turned into yogurt. And with a little jiggle and shake test, I don't see any movement, so it looks like the yogurt did set. If your yogurt still looks very milky or jiggly, just let it keep sitting. You can go anywhere from 7 to up to 24 hours until it finally sets. If it's still liquidy at that point, you probably just need to start over. And at just 9 hours in the oven, I definitely had yogurt success. The yogurt seems pretty firm and it holds up to the spoon dip test. But the yogurt isn't at its best right now at room temperature. It's way better if you put the lid on and move this to the fridge. I recommend chilling this in the fridge for at least 3 hours. That'll give the yogurt enough time to set and really get to that nice consistency that you're looking for. After about 10 hours in the fridge, this is what my yogurt looked like. It's definitely pretty thick. It might not be as thick as some store-bought yogurts like Yoplait or other brands that you might see in the supermarket. But for something you can make at home for yourself, I think this is pretty cool. And it's just awesome to know how things are made and what you need to do in order to make common things that you might take for granted in the store. So you can top this with whatever you want. I'm going with some berries and honey. Serve it however you would serve any other yogurt. And some of you might be wondering, is it possible to make yogurt without using any other yogurt? How did they make it before there was commercial yogurt? Well, there are a few different methods out there for making a yogurt starter at home on your own. And that's something I'm going to be exploring in a future video. So subscribe to see that video. And when the video's up, I'll put it right here so you can click on it.